So this is another how-to video, how to make these minnows, which I've been using for the last few months. These are hand carved, through wired with stainless steel wire. And just this first bit of the video is to show you how to make these, which is the through wire, stainless steel through wire. So the first thing you're going to need to do is download this template. There's a PDF which will give you a link on the bottom of the YouTube video or on my blog. And what I do is download the PDF first and then print it off. And just check your printer settings. The first thing you need to do, it's got a 2 dimensions on, is just check that it's actually printed correctly. So that's saying 50mm, and on the verniers there it's showing 50mm. You don't really need to check the length, but you can do it with a ruler, you don't need a set of calipers. 150. So what I'm going to do is just cut the bottom bit out. It says wire forming jig template, and you'll see there that there's some dotted lines. I'm just going to cut to them. I mean, you have to be amazingly accurate. That's not the important part of the jig. There we go. So what I'm going to take now is a piece of 1/2 inch MDF, and it's just a scrap off cut, and then 2 dimensions there, 150 by 50mm. Those are the 2 dimensions. Just going to put that on somewhere in the middle, and just a bit of sticky tape to hold it in position. And then all these crosses we're going to drill holes in, so I need to mark the points as accurately as I can. And what I'm using here is just one of these drawing pins. To just check you've got them all. Yeah, that one's slightly off. I'll just see if I can straighten that up. Yeah, it's not bad. The reason I'm using MDF is because it's got a nice flat surface and it's easy to machine. What I'm going to do then is just take that template off, and I've got all my holes. I'll stick that there so I don't forget. I'm just going to put a piece of wood underneath this because I'm going to drill a lot of holes, and what I'm using here is just a standard electric drill. This thing is older than me, and this is a 4mm brad point bit, and that end of that bit is going to sit into these holes just so it doesn't move while I'm drilling. So here we go. So that's the template drilled. And it's time for me bag of nails. These are what they're going to fit in, and these are 3-inch round wire nails at 3.75mm diameter, which is kind of standard. I think it's in American sizes it'd be 3-inch by 9 gauge. The Europeans obviously 75 by 3.75mm. And these fit in, and this is what we're going to bend the wire around. So I've just changed the camera angle just so you've got a better view of what's going on with the jig. This is the wire I'm going to be using, which is 200mm by 1mm stainless steel wire. I'll put some links up as to where you can get hold of that, but most layer making supply places will keep it. Also used for floats in this country. American size is obviously 8-inch by 40 thousandths of an inch. So the first thing I'm going to do is roughly get half somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to drop it there. So I've gone through that 2 nails there, and then I'm just going to bend that round, and what I'm using here is a piece of scrap MDF, and the plan is just to push it round. There we go. Okay. So I need to make my first loop, which is going to be this eye, and what I'm using here is a pair of side cutters, and I'm going to press that. I'll press the wire down flat against the surface and just crimp. And that should form the first eye. It's important to keep everything flat against the MDF, otherwise you'll end up with a twisted line. So that's my first eye. I put the next nail in and just squeeze that open a bit there. And then bend around this nail. And where I want this line to end up is just on the edge of where this nail I'm going to put in is going to go. Let's put that in there. And then the other side, same. Just bend it till it springs back to about there. Nail in. And then I want to be on the other side. You can see this one here. I want to be on the other side of this hole, so I'm going to bend till it's just got a kink in it. Put my nail in. See if I can do this. Get round, and then I'm going to twist that round to form this eye. Oh, sorry. Left that nail out. That nail there. Sorry. That just stops it springing out. Push round. And where I'm pushing is actually at the base of the nail. I'm not doing it here at the base of the nail, and that will keep it tight against. Back with the nail, the end cutters, and just again holding it flat. Just enough pressure there just to bring it together. Forms the eye shape. Let's do the other side. You can see there it's sprung out a bit, and just take that back towards. That's about right. So that nail there for the eye, and this here. Let's go back around and just again pushing on the bottom, bring it round there, and then get the end cutters in. So last thing to do is take all the nails out, and just do this gently so you don't twist the wire. So that's the wire there. What I need to do now is just give it a bit of a tweak and bind the eyes together. It should lie flat, and you can see it's got a bit of a rise there, so just twist that a bit. There, it's lying flat on the paper now. And you can see that even without the bandaging, it's pretty accurate on the eyes. When I've wrapped these eyes, which I'll show you how to do next, you'll see that it will be absolutely spot on to the drawing. So I'm going to take the wire we've just made here, and I'm going to use this, which is just embroidery thread, and it's in a fly fishing bobbin holder. Anything will do. Sewing cotton, 2 pound monofilament fishing line. If you do fly fishing or tie your own flies, flying thread or floss. So what I'm going to do is just whip it around, put a bit of tension on there, and just wrap Now I could finish it with a whipping knot, but I'm going to use super glue anyway. So really all I want to do is just put the tiniest amount on possible, that was too much. But just work it into the joint, and that will actually hold the metal together as well as holding the surface together. There's no need to tie a knot, and I'm just going to use a bit of this excess to just dab that off, because I don't want my fingers sticking to it. Let's cut the other end of that line. Let's just repeat that for the ends. This one here is a bit long. 200 mils probably just a bit over what you need for this, so I'm going to get the end cutters there and just cut that back. And again, just press it together and wrap. You know, if you're tiniest bit of glue, see if I can just dab the end, that'll do better. Let's snip that off. Do this side. So if you've only got thicker thread, you don't really want to be wrapping it like this. You want to do it as minimum as you can. Just give that a poke with a spare bit of wire. Let it soak in. A bit of chop. Just dab off that excess glue. I mean, super glue normally, although it sets up quite fast, to reach it, it's something like a day I think it takes to reach its full strength, and the strength that that adds is unbelievable. So I'm going back to my original drawing here, and one thing is you can see there that it's got a bit of a rise, so just going to give that a bit of a bend before it sets. What I want it to sit is quite flat, basically. On the paper, and that means when I line my eyes up at the end, it's running straight through the layer. So this is the actual proper drawing. Let's see what it looks like. You can see it needs a bit of a bend down there. Let's just give that just a small tweak, just gentle. That's not bad, a tiny bit more. You can see better from that angle, it's spot on to the drawing, so it's an accurate start. And the thing is, with the jig you can make obviously a lot more wires accurately over and over again. There we go.